I'm the scientific director at Tecniplast, and I want to start with one thing. Today I will be talking only about LinkedIn, because to me Twitter is dead, or X, and the other platform are not, to me, useful at all to speak about animal research. That's why I will focus only on LinkedIn, and I hope you will still be finding that useful. Okay. Right. So let me start with a bit of introduction in general on what I've been working on LinkedIn. So there is a bit of marketing in there, but it's all going towards what we're going to talk at the end. So there are two presentations of 10 minutes each that I would like to share. The first one is a bit more content. The second is the use of AI, of how to use these tools to actually help us to deliver a message. All right. Let me see if I can share. Right. You can hear me well, right?
Yes.
Okay, I can see only one of the two presentations. Then I will have to share the screen. All right. Do you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Choose the wrong one, obviously. Apologize. No, it's a correct one. So, sorry, choose the wrong. Yeah, that was the correct one. Apologize. So, I don't know how many you are using LinkedIn effectively. I'm going to tell it effectively is not just reading what is it posting there. It's really posting actively and getting response to what they post about, right? By stats, 42% of the people are having this problem, and there are super users on LinkedIn. There are 55 million in the scientific fields, right? So if you use, why using LinkedIn? Because in my opinion, it's the only platform at the moment that is really effective, right? 71% of the STEM professional use LinkedIn weekly, and you get 2.5 times the engagement than the general content. And in the context of a career, I mean, the recruiter is also there. I mean, think yourself, if you're not any longer in academia, you might at a certain point think of using LinkedIn effectively. But now, what is the content creation tools for the scientific communication? There are design tools, there are visual converter and writing assistants. Some have to be paid, some are free. And you have to make some investment if you want to see a return. Otherwise, I don't think it is going to be very effective, in my opinion, and you're going to spend a lot of time and struggle and say it doesn't work. It's like doing a Western blot without knowing how to do a protocol or how to have a protocol in front of you. So what are the essential tools to me? Well, Canva, I think it has been already touched upon before. I use a lot of Adobe Express. There is also the free version, which is very easy and very intuitive. Loom, for quickly video generation, and Grammarly to make sure that my English is free and is not full of errors, coming from Italian, German, English type of formulations. With regards to the, type of advanced tools that you can also use, I use other tools like Descript and Riverside, which helps to, for instance, edit a document, Riverside for the record of remote reviews, if you do studio quality type of stuff. But the one I use the most, and in the past was DALL-E and Midjourney for the picture. And now ChatGPT has, blown away since the last version of creating videos, but also for the content, not to create the content per se, but to make it in a similar structure with the proper tools. So what do you have to do on LinkedIn? You have to establish your leadership. Every one of us is expert on something. Okay. Masha mentioned what she's expert on. I will mention what I'm expert, but every one of us, and there are people that want to listen to what you are expert upon. 100%. You want to solve the problem of someone, and if you solve the problem of someone, you will have 43% higher engagement. Engagement might not need or sound something familiar to you, but it's like having a publication with a lot of citation, essentially. If you have data-backed insights, that means what you share is not just because you reshare it, but it's back off of data. It's very important. And the 80% value and 20% promotion is also very important. That means you don't have to publicize too much. And as you see, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, sometimes what I sell, sometimes what I believe into, sometimes what I think is important to share, right? And 80% has to be value, and 20% can be then, because you establish this column, the rest. So what is effective on LinkedIn? There are 5 things essentially that are important. I'm not any longer sure if LinkedIn Live is important, but carousel works a lot. When you screen through and you see this very nice kind of slideshow of things, polls generate interaction. I started to use newsletter, and this seems to be quite effective to share what I think people should read more than just a post. Documented post, obviously, with some documentation, you can put a PDF in there. Pay attention of the, if you share like a publication, that it can be actually shared, even if it is open access. You can just simply place a PDF in there of a publication, unless it's yours, and say, please go and read. You might break some laws. And LinkedIn Live was actually to go online, but in the recent past, I haven't seen much of that. More is actually going live with video, of yourself, and try to do some stuff. These are the things that really works on LinkedIn. If you want to post something, you have to have a hook. You have to have something that really captures attention, right? Optimal length is between 1,500 characters to 2,000. You might have 3 hashtags at most, because that's what LinkedIn used to rank up your post. And you can also comment to it. And typically, if there is a clear call to action, like asking a question, leave a comment, share, people do it. If you don't do that, people will not do it. People will say, okay, it's interesting, I like it, and that's it. But that's not what is posting your, pushing your post up. These are the 5 rules of basic LinkedIn interactions, or optimization, if you will. So if you are going to build a calendar, because you, like Masha and I and others, are doing this, on a more, routine way, you will have 4 to 5 core teams. Do you remember this pyramid? You want to establish yourself. You have a content metrics in which you will have a calendar. There is a 70-20-10 approach. 70 means talking about something technical, 20 can be something about a bit promotional, and 10 is success stories. That's what is suggested on LinkedIn. And then team days. As for today or the other day was, I don't know, the International Red Day. It might be something different. It might be something you read and you want to post about. The other day, Macron announced that Europe is going to invest 500 million euros on something, and I post about that because I think it's important for people. There's nothing to do with animal research, but this establishes what you want to talk about. And later I'll explain you why. Scheduling. You can choose whatever you want. There is LinkedIn, there is Hotsuite, there's Buffer, other systems that you can use. Optimal time for posting is in the morning when people looking at their mobile phone, at the 2 p.m. at lunch break, and 5 to 6 p.m. If you're doing that, other than that, you might see less things. And when Tuesday and Thursdays is the best engagement, right? Because Monday people are busy, Friday they already have their head in the weekend, and you have to consider scheduling that works. Typically they say 1 post a day. It's takes the doctor away. No, that's the apple, I know, but that's what is also suggested on LinkedIn. And then there are tracking metrics. You want to know what is the content retention engagement is called. There are analytics. You can do A/B testing. What works best? There is a social selling score if you're really into LinkedIn. And then you can refine the strategy monthly. What 5% of the marketers do, but you want. It is just some things that people might have to take into account. By the way, this presentation has been generated with AI, and this is the next topic, and it's Gamma, which is very, very useful also in the free version. Again, if you want to visualize animal research, you have to show visualization, process documentation, methodology explanation, and potentially talking about ethical guidelines. The content specific to animal research, right, can be transparency. If you talk about highlights of something, you can have ethical consideration, you can have behind the scene work, and then results. This will be a nice breakdown of things. I will share this presentation if you want at the end of my talk with Masha. What does work? What does resonate with the people, with the audience you want to talk about? Storytelling is really good. Priority ethics, again, sorry if I, repeat myself, but if you say 7 times, it goes into your non-conscious part, and then you ascend the point. Remember it. Accessible language. Don't use jargon. Don't use supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Do something very easy if you want to take to lame audience. You can, do a series creation. Develop connected content. That builds a story. It works very well, especially for Twitter in the series creation. Again, this is just the same thing as before, posted differently. And this is the time strategy as shown before. Again, if I tell you 7 times, you will remember it. Sorry for being repetitive. And you want to measure the impact. What works best is the ethical narrative, followed by documents, followed by videos, images, and text only. These are the tools and how you will do it. And this is the end of the first presentation. Is there any question to it?